Hey friends, welcome to the podcast. On this episode, we're talking about Barnwood, Michigan Barnwood and Salvage. We're going to be talking with Kendra Patterson about the amazing work that she and her husband do in the city of Mason, Michigan. And our guest on the podcast, as I said, Kendra Patterson, is here to talk about her super cool store. Can you talk to me about, Kendra, what you guys do? Because what happens at Michigan Barnwood and Salvage is, I sort of knew what you did before I got to the interview, but kind of looking around and how you guys have built a business, I cannot wait to dive into this. Before I do that, how rude of me. How are you, Kendra? Let's do that.
Really good. Thank you. Thanks for having me. We are very excited that you asked us to be on today. So thanks for having us.
You and your husband decide you're going to do this business and you start selling it out of your own home, out of a barn of some sort. Yeah. And then you meet a couple that destroys barns and then you've got to kind of pivot, right? Is that the start of this story?
Yeah, it was a very accidental business. Us women, we get into Pinterest and wanting to do DIY projects. And so I had stumbled upon this old bed frame that I was just determined to make it into a bench for our hall, the hall tree. So and he's like, okay, I'll make you something. I'll look for some old wood, make it look a little, rustic and cool. And we just had stumbled upon some old pallets and put it on and I shared it on my Facebook page and people were like, well, I want a bench. And so my husband started to find all these like bed frames to make for friends and family. And then down the road from us, they were doing, a house was being torn down. And so one of my girlfriends said, hey, you might want to go see if they have any wood for you that you can use to make some benches. So we stumbled upon them and said, hey, can we buy some of this wood from you? We got to talking. My husband gets on the equipment, starts helping. And before you know it, we just built a friendship with our demo crew. And then he was telling them how mostly they tear down barns. And my husband's like, well, I'm looking for some wood. So we built a friendship and a crazy partnership with him. And we had pole barns out at our old house. So we would bring one truckload at a time. And we would have these open kind of weekends where people could come and they can sort through lumber and some of the projects my husband built out of the wood. And before you know it, my whole driveway was lined with cars every weekend and semis and just trucks and trailers, and customers would bring their kids and they would play with my kids in our backyard. And so we knew we had a great idea. We just needed to be able to house more lumber. So we stumbled upon one of the businesses here in town were going out of business, and it happened to be an old lumber yard. So we put an offer on and they accepted and we moved in, and it's been just crazy whirlwind ever since.
Let's take a couple steps back from this serendipity mythology that you have going on here, right? What were you guys doing right before you got on Pinterest? What was your life like before you're like, I want this bench, and then I'm building an enterprise? Like before those two things happened, what were you guys doing?
Well, my husband was working for a commercial furniture company doing deliveries. So he just basically would deliver furniture to different customers. And then I was a stay-at-home mom to two little kids.
And so here we are. We're in Mason, Michigan. You guys are at an old lumber yard doing what you do. But what's fascinating is, and I want you to get into the volume that you're talking about because the numbers are astounding, but that's not all you guys are doing. You have a retail location.
So when we bought our building, it's about 30,000 square feet in the heart of downtown Mason. So when you have such a large store, we were like, we can really make something out of this building. So our back area is all of our reclaimed lumber. We also sell live edge lumber and dimensional lumber that's all salvaged locally in Michigan. And then we have this incredible showroom space. So when we first opened, we said, we need to do something with this great showroom. So we at first had furniture makers, mug makers, sign makers, candle makers, all local to Michigan. So people would reach out to us and say, hey, I'd love to be in your store. What would it take to be able to be in your store? And we just built this amazing partnership with over 80 local Michigan small businesses who fill our showroom in addition to our furniture.
What I love about the retail location is You have 80 different artisans. But if you go to your Facebook page or you go to the website, those 80 individual humans look like they belong under the brand in a way that's sort of hard to describe, right? They look like they belong there. It's not, when you would say 80 artisans showed up in a box and put their stuff all over the place, it might sound a little chaotic and a little bit like a thrift shop, but that's not what this looks like. This is a well-crafted, well-curated experience. And was that something that you had done in another way, another life? Like, how did you figure out how to curate that so it looks exactly like your brand?
It's just very unique because one person that would come into my store to sell their products had a friend who sold at a craft show that she went to that thought it would be a good fit for the store. Sometimes my husband and I would stumble across something in another store that we thought, this is a great product, something that I would use, something that I would gift to somebody. And if it's Michigan made, that's kind of where our heart is at, is that we're helping families here in Michigan. And we have all of these amazing products here that are such a diverse group of products. It's not just body products and towels and pillows. We just have catered to a little bit of everything, something for everybody.
And you do it to an expert level, my friend. So let's talk about the reclaimed wood, because I imagine in a year like this, you're pretty popular. People are looking for wood. So what has the last year been like on that side of the house?
It's been very interesting. So while you're home, right, you're thinking, oh, well, what do I do with all my spare time? So a lot of couples come in with, oh, I would like to redo my office area. I've got my home office and I'm really struggling to find something that I can work and have all the things to function for my job. And I want it to look nice so then I feel settled at work. We worked with a lot of people to design furniture, shelving units, filing cabinets, just something that kind of made their space their own. And then just the DIY projects, people are like, I'm working outside. I want to finish this room in my house. I want this, I want that. So our barnwood ranges anywhere from the barn siding. So that makes great accent walls and fun projects. And then we have like our 2x material that's great for shelving and tables. And so our whole vision was that people could come in, purchase their lumber, and have a project to do at home with their family, something that's an heirloom, something that they can keep forever and has a story behind it. It's way more meaningful than just buying something from any hardware store and throwing it on the wall. Every piece of wood has a history. It's from a Michigan barn. It has a story, it has character. And so people love that they can recycle, reuse. They love the whole concept of that they're taking something that was salvaged from a 150-year-old barn here in Michigan, and now they have this beautiful statement piece in their home. Fireplace beams. I mean, we've just done a little bit of everything during COVID because people were, during the shutdown wanting to do projects. So it was very unique having to help couples with their projects who were home doing all sorts of fun things, working in their offices and with their kids. And
the MRA has obviously turned me on to you to do this interview today. And I want to talk a little bit about what the Michigan Retailers Association does to help businesses like you, especially when we're coming out of COVID. Because I imagine, and I guess I'm just making a supposition on your part, that people's appetite to purchase things has only gotten, in my estimation, more ravenous as things have opened up. And I'm wondering if you're starting to see that yourself, or you will expect that in the fourth quarter. And then just perhaps the way in which the MRA can help businesses like you navigate through all of that.
So the Michigan Retailers Association has been a huge, in my mind, we're like a team, a partner. They have been so supportive. They have always been able to say, what do you need? How can we help you? Just having them on my side and in my corner just feels so nice to have those partnerships, because the other Michigan retailer partners and how we can all kind of work together. Anything that's, in Michigan is important to focus on right now, because so many small businesses didn't make it or had really struggled during the shutdown and had to think outside the box. It was nice to be able to count on the MRA to be able to help us with any questions and giving us updated information, and just saying, how can we help? And that just feels so nice to feel like we have somebody like them on our side to be able to promote small businesses like myself and to basically help my 80 families who are here in my store. So it's just been a very warming partnership to me. It's just, we're very thankful for them.
And that's, you know, what I wanted to hit on, right? It's not just you and your husband. There's 80 other families connected to this retail location, which makes it unique in the state of Michigan. I think you're probably one of maybe 3, if that does something to that extent. And I'm wondering, what's Mason like right now as things are starting to open up? You know, the Tigers are going to full stadium this week. It feels very much like we have turned a page and we're going in a totally different direction. What's the city like right now?
Well, Mason was hit really hard because we're in Ingham County. So in Ingham County, we had the shutdown for the longest. We had some pretty strict, restrictions that we had to abide by. And even though we had lower capacity and masks and everything that we had to do, we did everything under the guidelines safely, and everything functioned like a well-oiled machine. Our customers are phenomenal. The community is phenomenal. I feel like the support of wanting to shop in a local Michigan company really was eye-opening this year. And so we saw some hurdles for sure, but downtown Mason is such a warm community. I always kind of call it the Hallmark town because everybody knows everybody and everybody is willing to team up and help support each other in whatever ways they can, from coordinating events and sidewalk sales and sending customers that way. We even created, in a time like this, we were trying to think, well, my customers, the average drive time is over an hour to come visit my store. So while they come, they want a place to eat, other places to shop. So we created an incredible map that downtown Mason, at the Mason Chamber of Commerce, made for us that has all the places to eat and shop and check out while you're visiting Mason. And so it's just been a collaborative project from all the small businesses. And so while one of us has an event, we're sending others to the other people. And it's just been a really great, it's just, honestly, this town could not be more magical, more special to us. And this is where our family's from. So, our roots are strong here, but the fact that we ended up here in this building, in this town with this community it's just been very sweet.
Yeah, the universe clearly had a plan for you two and the rest of your family.
Absolutely.
For sure.
My very accidental business that turned into so much more.
To some sort of wood empire. So, Kendra, if people want to reach out to you, maybe this is the first time they're hearing of it, because Barnwood is something that's difficult to come by. They might not know which direction to go, and they probably hear this podcast and go, I've been looking for this my whole life. What's the best way for them to reach out to you to start a conversation about either visiting the showroom to see the artisans or collecting Barnwood to do a project or commissioning you guys?
Yeah. So the best, my Facebook followers are my people. They have grown with us since day one. I do daily posts on our Facebook page, just under Michigan Barnwood and Salvage. And you can see all of our events that we host. We host every single month. We hold a unique themed event. And so you can see our events. You can see our new products. I do posts anytime a vendor brings the new products. We take pictures and show you all the new things we have. We're now offering shipping. And we even did, during COVID, when everybody was trying to shop, we did FaceTime shopping. And that was really fun and unique to be able to, while we were shut down, have that one-on-one time, just like you and I are doing right now, where I could walk you through the store and you could do curbside or shipping. And then we're open every Wednesday through Sunday. So some people are just like, we're going to make a day trip to Mason. We're going to go see what they all have to offer. And then other people, they just come once a month for events. Sometimes you can just see what we have online on our Facebook page or Instagram. Our website is very limited because everything in here is handmade.
Yes.
And sometimes we have one of an item, sometimes we have 3 of an item, and it sells faster than I can get it on the website. So when we do these themed events, it's really to kind of restock the store, do our new theme, and then we have our everyday items like our pet section, our baby section, our kitchen and bath section. So we have very unique areas that are set up all the time with one vendor, and then other vendors who make a huge variety of things for special events.
Awesome. And so, Kendra, I'm looking to you for a pro tip because I saw that you started to put events all the way out through the end of the year, and you've got a Christmas
Yes.
event.
Yes.
What's Mason like in the Christmas season? Is that a place that people should definitely check out and put on their list?
It is a place for people to be. So the director of the Mason Christmas Craft Show. I've been honored to be asked to help with the social media and do all of the kind of just rearranging and making it as special as the show is. And myself and other businesses here in Mason and different homeowners open up their homes and businesses to crafters here in Michigan. And everybody hosts different special spots, from toffee to signs to candles, special Christmas gifts, jewelry. It's a very, very unique 3-day experience in November. It's always the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before Thanksgiving. And we do extended hours. Women come in just groups, sisters and mothers and grandparents come. It's a really fun, those 3 days are just a magical thing. And we have our Christmas music playing, but I always say it's basically our store just turns over to look like the North Pole. It's very fun.
That's awesome. Kendra Patterson from Michigan, Barnwood and Salvage. This has been an absolute joy, my friend. It's great to talk to you, and I cannot wait to head up there this November and December to check out Mason in the winter.
Yes, come see us anytime. We've got lots of fun events, and thanks again for having us today. We're thrilled that you asked us to be a part.